Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 125 of NasCard Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the amazing Jason. How are you?
Doing well. Simple.
And then the man, the myth, the legend, PSA and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you?
I'm feeling like cracked ice.
And speaking of, I want to thank our sponsor, Panini America. Get a little housekeeping here. Shout out to new subscriber, The Card Story. And why am I drawing a blank? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about. Got a short, quick show for you today. Um, we're going to review some F1 results, more about the 2006 Futera Lewis Hamilton. We had a couple sell that we wanted to point out. The Joey Logano silver packs with the yellow optics. There has been a sighting. And then we have an answer to the white box that we did in King's Court. There was a Richard Petty that had white box logo on the back. We got some information about that, and then that's it for the show. So let's get moving. The um, F1, like I said, gentlemen, I had seen or been following uh, Golden and PWCC for some of the auctions. They had some Lewis Hamiltons that I thought were really interesting. There were the F3 formula, and then the F1 formula. Those, if you remember, are from the magazine. They're perforated inside of there. So we had a couple of them sell. In the 2007, there were two basically close together. It was like a beginning of November and I believe the middle of November. And you can see they're both nines, and what I consider a pretty good deal. They're 2000 and 1600 for the F1, but the F3, that's what I guess everybody was looking at. That's his 2005 kind of first card. One was a SGC 8, and the other one was a PSA 9. You can see almost 40,000 to about 17,000. I wish they were both nines, then we could have maybe compared the SGC to PSA, but pretty decent, amount there for the fives. I think, the sevens might have been the bargain there.
I would agree with that. I think whoever bought those probably got a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think they're really, I guess we'll see in the future how accepted they get, and being, and the scarcity. Again, we talked about them, being in the magazine back from '05, '06, '07. And what did people do back then? They tore those out of the magazines, and I knew if I was a kid, that'd be the first thing I would do is take those out. So, and then moving over to the Futura cards, there were a few auctions since September. Again, the Futera from the '06, which is a pretty limited. I see a lot of 2005s, not too much 2006. There's a BGS 9 there for about 32.4 in a Beckett 9. This is the PSA 8 for 13. Here's a 9 for 36. And what's interesting is I don't want to say free fall, but the where this card in this grade has come this year, and we kind of briefly talked about it before we came on, but back in March, this card was $312,000.
Hey, go back to the other slide real quick. I wanted to see
The
the date
Which one?
again. So
Nine.
in 8 months we've had a 90% decrease.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So from 312 to 36, it's incredible. The pop on this where is that slide? It's down here, I think. Nope. Hold, bear with me. Here it is. There are only 3 PSA 9s. And I think in the slides throughout the year, we've seen some of them come up and down. Some of the same card.
We have.
Now, we haven't seen this one, or I can't find. This is kind of new from my listing, but to see those 9s go from 312 in March, is that May 292? Where's the other 9?
Yeah, I think that one ended in 1095. That's it.
There's 204. There's 2 authentics. There's a BGS 9 for 32. So 8. And then we got this 36. And then we have this 8 here for 15. So that's a loss of $276,000 for that PSA 9. Man, it's amazing. I still can't wrap my head around the loss of that card for the year.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who spent $312,000 on that could afford to lose $250,000. I mean, that just this whole thing just absolutely blows my mind. But what I'm thinking about is, we saw such a dramatic increase in Formula One in that year and a half or whatever period during the pandemic. And I guess, and this may be terrible to say, and people may not like me for saying it, but I think a lot of it was just hyped up. And now that the people that hyped it up have gotten it to where it just really is plateaued, now they're getting out of it, and now the real collectors are taking the fall for it.
I'll even go worse and say it's uneducated money. Because
True.
Think about, and I know we're racing, that's our focus, but think about the outliers. Everything went up during COVID, and I've been a wrestling card collector my entire life. And the great thing about it was it's kind of like racing. It's always been affordable, even inserts and autographs and stuff. That stuff took off, and it's all the outliers that are crashing the hardest. And we're almost back to where we were. Like, you walk in the stores and stuff's on the shelves, and it's unbelievable the selection you can find now. But those core 4, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, are plateauing, where to me it feels like these outliers, not NASCAR, we talked about that, but the F1s, the wrestling, those are crashing. And the other stuff is plateauing. But yeah, it's crazy. And I'm in total agreement with Logan. I think it's the hype. And like I said, the uneducated money.
Now, one thing I'll throw in there is some of these issues have come out of the woodwork, right? So we thought that 2006 Futera was really the first one. If it wasn't for that gentleman in Czechoslovakia, with those magazine cutouts or perforated cards, and I think, Logan, we talked about it before, where there's not a lot of documentation for this early F1 stuff. So as it comes out, people might think, oh, this is it. This is the best grade. This is, the one to chase. This is the Grail card. And then all of a sudden, a 2005 and a 2007. I think there's even a 2006. Those F1, F2, and F3 for Lewis Hamilton. So then you have the I guess I want to say the mass exodus out of F1, I guess, onto the next thing, or people have maybe left cards at all together. Maybe it's the economy and the crypto, because I would imagine, people with betting, they're betting on cards, they're betting on gambling on games, and they're, betting on crypto. So
yeah, I mean, we've seen the hard crash of crypto. Not that we're talking about that here, but again, it's and I think my son calls it the hype beast. You know, you get these people that come in with a little bit of money. They hype all this stuff up, and it's almost like a pump and dump. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. You know, talking about that Lewis Hamilton tops now F1, his first F1 card, that card
Yeah.
number 3. You know, that thing was almost $5,000 like almost 2 years ago. Now you can buy them for under $400. That is well over 90%. And that, if you notice, that's kind of the trend we've seen. These prices have been up here, and now they've dropped almost 80, 90%. It's and like I said, the collectors, the real collectors that bought into this and thought, well, Hamilton, I've saved up this money. This is a cool card. I paid a lot of money for it, and now it's crashing. I mean, they're left holding the bag. I think it's just terrible.
Yeah, we don't like this at all, because we want folks to stay in the hobby
Yeah,
for the long term. We don't want them in there for 8 months and in and out. I want them in for 8 years or more. Um, I was listening to one of the older episodes that we did. I think it was 85 or 87 when the F1 flagship had come out. The way on the Topps website there was about a 125, I think it was, but the big three had them for $400 to $500 a box. Those boxes now have come back down to about 110, a box. So the people who bought in at 400 or 500, open a box of flagship, and there's no autographs or nothing in like that. It's just, I feel for folks, thinking that they were, getting in and getting their money's worth or whatever it was. So, like,
well, I've noticed it on ComC. Talk about that same card. I was talking about the Topps Now F1 Lewis Hamilton card number 3. There are people that still have those things up there for $1,000 or more, and they bought in when it was higher. So there's no way. They're just going to have to sit on it and hope that it goes back up. But I just don't see it going back up.
yeah, we need a lot of collectors to come back in and buy cards, or people to buy multiple copies of cards, right? So it's like, okay, I have one, but no, I need to be, I don't want to say investor, but to have more than one copy of a card to, you know, reduce supply. Uh, and again, probably people aren't collecting Lewis like they were the other year when, he was running for the championship and tied and was winning all these races, and it was just kind of Max running away with it. So, but anyway, like I said, I saw some of those prices, and I wanted to make sure we kind of passed that on to let you guys know. We're trying to keep as much education as possible on some of this stuff. So we don't want our listeners. We want them to be educated. Making purchases. So
Agreed. Yeah, I just can't believe. Well, yes, I can believe. I'll say that I can believe what we're seeing because Val, you and I saw it with NASCAR back in the '90s. So
yeah, this is very reminiscent of
mhm.
what happened in NASCAR.
Yeah,
And I'm afraid, we're going to be repeating it because, not to get a long story here, but what's driving the new F1 flagship is going to come out, the new F1 Chrome is going to come out, and what's the driving force to, collect it? Is there any hot rookies or whatever, right? So there's no real hot rookies. They're all F2
hmm
drivers. So, you won't see them in the higher ups for a while. So, we'll see what will help drive the sales of the latest version of flagship and Chrome.
I'm hoping that Tops has gets Lewis Sargent into a regular issue. Not Lewis Sargent, Logan
Logan,
Sargent. Lewis Sargent. Oh boy,
but he's got to be
Logan
up there
Sargent.
and competing, right? I mean, he's not riding around in last place. So,
Yeah, no. So he's the great American hope for F1. So I'm hoping that's going to spark some interest in the United States with F1 and collecting cards. We'll see.
all right, moving over to the Optic the Joey Logano giveaways here. Let me do this real quick here. Whoop,
Play the commercial.
Yeah.
All right, people, if you like giveaways, we got a wicked giveaway for you. Panini sent me a box full of trading cards. Check these things out. We got a boatload of them. They said do whatever you want with them. So we decided to give them away to you guys. So we're going to pick 10 winners from Twitter, 10 winners from Instagram, 10 winners from Facebook. All you got to do is comment the 22 and 22. Hashtag the 22 and 22. And we're going to be giving this out. Look at this, a whole bunch of packs. Look at this. Let's open one up for the heck of it. Clint Boyer, Ross Chastain, Harry Gant, that's a cool one, and Cole Custer. Wait a minute. Got one. Look at that guy. There's a whole bunch of these. This can be you. Who knows what you're going to get?
So that video came out, months ago, I guess it was.
It's been a while.
So we've been trying to track him down, and one of the, Eagle Eye listeners hit me up on Twitter and said, "Hey, is this one of those?" And this is what we found here. We find there it is. So as you can see, it's got the yellow gold looking edges there for that version. Now, there is a gold version of the Optic, but it's numbered out of 10 and there's no numbering on the back. So to make it confusing, of course, if everybody remembers, this was a mistake. This was the wrong color, should have been green, but the printer, I guess, I want to say messed it up or had inverted the numbers. And so they printed this yellow version, and Panini had it packed up. So they were trying to figure out what to do with it, and they gave it the case to Joey Logano to give away. So they are starting to come out into the wild. So,
well, to kind of go further on what you said, Val and I were at the National. We talked to Tim Trout with Panini. He told us that the printer reversed the Pantone colors. Instead of making the green color, they made yellow, and they saw them that they were making yellow, and they were like, timeout, stop, hold the presses, literally. And Panini just kept all these cards. And of course, you saw what they did. They packed them up, gave them to Joey Logano, and we're starting to see some of them. But this particular seller is calling this a gold pulsar variant. That is not true. It is yellow. It's not really gold. So I don't think the seller, in my opinion, I don't think the seller knows what they've got. I think it's actually, to me, probably going to be almost as rare as some of those gold pulsars going forward, because those things are going to be hard to find. And something else I've noticed too, guys, is have we seen anywhere on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram where Joey Logano said, "Hey, guess what? Nope. You won this," because I follow him on all those different outlets, and I haven't seen anything at all about that. And maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen it.
So a couple things. The story the way that you just said that story with Tim Trout, for whatever reason, struck me differently, to where I realized if they stop the presses, there's a decent chance that every card does not have the same quantity. So there could be varying quantities, and they're not numbered. And this is going to be one of those things where if you don't know what you're looking for, you're going to either probably sell low or give it away. The other thing is, am I gone?
You're back.
Not knowing what they are, like this person listed it as gold. Those other ones that Val's getting outbid on are not listed as gold. They're just listed as prisms or something, aren't they? Because I bid on a couple also. So I don't even know how you would efficiently search these. You're just going to have to throw darts and just hope something, hope you find it or find your driver maybe. But this is going to be tough. And I'm with you, Logan. I have not seen anything from Mr. Joey.
Jason, we probably need you to run some numbers here. How many packs do you think are in that case multiplied by 3 to get an idea of
Listen, the swatch department is backed up right now.
No, not right, not right now. Let me know if I need to go to our company website and put a formal request in.
Actually, though, that's a good idea because I could probably stop that picture and maybe do a little bit of counting when the kids are asleep. So I'll work on that.
Yeah, it's for later on. Again, this is something that's not. It's not a flow. It's gonna be a trickle, and it's gonna be running into them and kind of knowing that they're out there. There's no easy way to distinguish them, and you kind of need to know that they exist. I don't know if Beckett has classified them and put them in the Beckett annual, or on their price guide. I don't even know how you would price them. So this is probably like the 2019 Fox announcers set. It's out there, and we're trying to educate our listeners. Again, this is the only place in the world you're going to get this kind of information. So and again, it's hard to get information, so we're kind of documenting as we go along.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to say it. I'm not going to hold back, I guess. We all said it before the show. There's multiple sellers, and they're located in Texas. And
yeah, we have noticed that these sellers are from Texas.
Something's weird, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but it always has a bad look whenever something like that occurs. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just coincidence, but we'll see what happens. I would encourage people like me, like I'm going to try to get a Blaney, but at the same time, I know a Blaney might never pop up. So I'm going to try to get a couple just because I think they're going to be some hard to get cards. So I'm just going to get a couple random guys.
All right.
Yep. Me too.
Moving on, wanted to talk about the card in last week's or 2 weeks ago, I think it was a King's Court. Let me bring that up. This was a King's Court nominee, and this was the Richard Petty. It was a PSA 10, autograph 10, and we noticed on the back that it is a 101 white box, and we were not sure about that. We had some ideas where that came from. I had not seen that before, and one of the great listeners, viewers of the show, I am infected 2745. Basically, that the white boxes are boxes that Panini would give away for a trade on unfulfilled redemptions. So I guess you could bundle them up and get one of these white boxes.
So yeah, I guess that's something like what they would be giving away at the National for, unfulfilled redemption.
Did you, and I missed this show, did you notice that there was another Petty that sold that was a white box?
I did not see that.
It's a 3-color patch that sold for quite a bit of money. It's a 3-color patch autograph, and it is 2019 Victory Lane, $500, 28 bids.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
But it's also a white box.
You want to put it in the chat?
I'm having eBay issues.
That's fine. That's fine. If you want to work on that, I know Logan had another Petty he wanted to talk about.
Sure did. And I sent you the link in the chat for that one just now. If you want to bring it up and share it on screen. The card I want to talk about is one of our favorite cards that we love on this show. It's 1972 STP Richard Petty, and there's one. This one is currently on eBay. I don't know if it has an end date or not. I don't think it does. I think since it's just to buy it now, but they're asking $2,500 for this card. And I encourage everybody to go out there and look at this card for themselves. But if you magnify in on it, this card is pretty beat up. I mean,
Yeah, it's missing a corner.
I'm not trying to disparage this seller's card, but it's not in the best of shape. I mean, that's just a fact. If you look at it, all the corners are frayed. There's some paper loss. There's stains on the back. But it is, in its defense, it is a 1972 STP Richard Petty rookie card. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is, and I was going to say, do you want to talk about why the paper loss is on the corners?
I would think that the reason it's in the shape that it's in is since these were given away at the Daytona 572, I'm sure somebody just put them in their pocket and they just got worn out. And the seller's got some other cards that are in that same kind of shape. And these are all great cards, don't get me wrong, but they're not in the best of shape. I have a collector friend who messaged me the other day, and he was asking about what I thought about this card. And I told him, all the things that I just told you guys. And he said he was going to put in an offer. I said, I wouldn't go higher than $1,500, honestly. So I think he put in an offer for $1,500, and I think the seller came back with $1,750. And I just don't see that for this card right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not always right on this stuff, but maybe the market can handle that now. But we saw one that ended up being a PSA 8 that sold for $1,000. I guess about what it was back in early summer,
maybe or spring,
or early spring. Yeah, I think it was early spring. And but maybe that's what the market is now. I don't know, but I like this card, but I don't like it for $2,500.
So where I was going to go with is Logan, and I've seen this, and this is just for our listeners, viewers, that if you run across one of these and it's in a screw down and not in a plastic sleeve, that you want the dealer to remove it from the screw down. Now, what happens is because of the clear coat or the finish on this card or any of the 72 STPs, people didn't put the card in a card saver. So you're talking 80s, 90s when those screw downs had come out, that it adheres to the plastic. And I have a few of them like that I've actually seen this and learned the hard way. So I'm trying to take my heartache and let you guys know so that you don't experience what I did. So now this is one of the reasons why I started getting some of these autographed, because this card would look great autographed.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, and it kind of gets rid of the blemishes. So with that beautiful Petty art autograph.
Yeah, and I will say that I had a PSA 4 that I cracked out years ago and took it to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and got Richard Petty to sign it in person. So, I mean, it's for that reason this would be a good candidate to get autographed, no doubt.
Right. And speaking of, if you want to hear more about the 1972 STP, if you go into the archives, episode number 29 is on the 1972 STP. Anything else, gentlemen?
The NASCAR awards banquet is going on probably right now as we record this in Nashville. Wish I could be there, but just not in the cards for me this year.
So I have one thing real quick. I know we're trying to jump off here, but we did that box break a couple weeks ago, and I said I would give some cards away. There is a giveaway posted for some Cody Ware cards. Where's my camera? Oh, you can't see because I'm blurred. But I have some XRs, the base, the blue out of 199, and the red out of 99. And I put it up as I would give out one of them to the winner, unless Cody Ware retweeted. But he didn't retweet; he quoted, so I'll take it. So the winner gets all 3 Cody Ware cards, and he actually doesn't have too much out there, so I'm sure there's a ton of Cody Ware fans out there right now just dying for these cards, but I'm giving all 3 of them away. So if you find my Twitter profile, Jason Dean Martin, it's up there, and still about 4 days left to enter. So
that's so cool when you can get a driver to quote a tweet or retweet.
Yep.
That's anytime you can get that, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Like I said, I'm gonna try it with Bubba as well, because that one's the 1 out of 10 autograph. So we'll do that one after Cody.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I bet he does it. I bet he retweets it.
We'll see.
That'd be nice.
I told my wife I was going to go stand outside of a McDonald's and hold the card.
There you go.
So
we could
if
try
you
that.
see a picture of me outside McDonald's, that's what it is.
That's awesome. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. Between now and end of the year, we're going to kind of go do a best of. We're going to give Jason and Logan some well-deserved some time off here. They put in their vacation notices for the rest of the year. Otherwise, and our vacations does not roll, so they'll lose it if they don't take it. So,
yeah. What about our health insurance benefits?
Open enrollment passed.
Yeah, open enrollment doesn't happen until January 1. So. But we'll come back even better in 2023. So I'll probably be tasked, or we'll be doing some best of and some other stuff here between now and end of the year. So definitely want to wish everybody happy holidays. For December is a busy time. So
yeah, definitely Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to all of our listeners. We appreciate you guys. Like we were talking about during Thanksgiving, we really appreciate you guys tuning in and putting up with some of our long episodes. I know that's a big ask.
Yep. We are not to sidetrack. We put our tree up the previous 2 days. About 20 minutes after we were done last night, all the lights went off, and it was like holy crap. But we got fixed. We're all good. So we started celebrating, and my wife is ready to watch the Dolly Parton Christmas special tonight. So we're starting hardcore here.
That's
all
cool,
right,
man. I've got my 3 kings up on my tree. So be checking me out on Twitter. I'll put out a picture of my 3 kings on my Christmas tree.
I look forward to that every year. I need
did
to
that last night.
I need to come up with something like that too. So anyway, any parting things, gentlemen?
No, sir.
I think that's all we have for right now. Again, we appreciate. Yes.
One more thing we almost forgot. Hashtag skid marks. Ty freaking Gibbs.
Yep.
I realize that exactly. So again, though, you can always check all the archives for episodes like the 1983 Uno, episode number 31, the 88 Max, and episode number 38 and 39, the 1987 88 World of Outlaws with the Jeff Gordon with the little pencil mustache, whatever was 16. That's episode number 40. So again, all those are in the archive, and some of these we'll be redoing for the new year. So really looking forward to it since we have a kind of a low. I know the snowball derby's going on, but we got some movement in F1, people moving around, same thing with NASCAR. So, but we again appreciate everybody who's listened, watched everything, or got to see in person at the National. So looking forward to 2023. So we appreciate it very much.
Yep. 23 and 23.
Yeah. All right. We're out of here.